in control. What am I capable of? Am I good enough? I have a low tolerance for people who pick on others that are less fortunate.
My brother, one of his greatest qualities is that he is protective.
I remember almost getting kicked out of school because I threatened a group of guys who were teasing a girl in a wheelchair. They took her battery out of the back of her wheelchair and she was stranded in the middle of the hallway and they were laughing and they thought it was funny. It wasn't funny to me. So I threatened their lives.
Jason was so sweet and kind and nice.
I was a teenage father.
Jason and I both had special needs children.
I said, Mom, I got a baby on the way. She said, no matter what you do in this life, you always take care of your children. Paris Alexis Borum, born January 6, 1998. She had complications during childbirth where the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck and she lost oxygen. It caused her to have brain damage.
He was the most gentle person I've ever seen with a child. I just remember watching him dress her, brush her hair.
She spent 45 days in the hospital, driving back and forth to Indianapolis. So many complications. I didn't know if I was capable of taking care of this child. We were forced to feed her by sticking tubes down her throat. And watching a baby gag while you're trying to feed her and she's throwing up, and that was tough. And that was when I knew I had to become her advocate. So they flew us out to Indianapolis where we put a feeding tube in her, and things got better. She started gaining weight, she started laughing, she started smiling, and so at that moment I knew that I was capable of taking care of this child.
Bills, even we had other children as well, but you know, the bills and everything would just be a lot on us. And
the collection notices started to come. Credit report was destroyed before I even knew what a credit report was.
It's very difficult having to see someone suffer and to see your children suffer. It's very, very, very difficult.
Our life before my dad became an engineer kind of felt gloomy, honestly, because being so young, it was hard to realize what he was really working for and striving for when we would have time apart from him.
So my only solution was to make more money so I can afford treatment for my kid.
Everything that he do, he go hard at it. He's non-stop. It's kind of insane.
I'm pretty sure his x-rays got that dog, a dog in his x-rays, that they say. There's some dog in him. And that bad boy come out. All you gotta do is tell Jay, you can't do X, Y, and Z.
I had a boss, mechanical engineer, and I told him I wanted to become an engineer without a degree. And he told me, what you're trying to do is impossible. So I started studying for my exams.
My dad's studying schedule during that time was very, very strict and disciplined. I remember having to try to quiet down my siblings.
Like, we just felt pressure in the house. We had to be quiet. We know that there was a goal that he needed to meet.
My boss pulled me to the side and he was like super excited. Jason, I got great news for you. I'm like, oh, what's going on? He's like, we've looked at the numbers and you're operating in the top 1%. So I asked him, I'm like, well, since I'm in the top 1% and you see that there's value there, can I have a raise? He said, well, no, we can't do that right now. Okay. He said, maybe if you pass the engineering, your first engineering exam, we can give you a promotion then.
Well, Jason would come home from work and he would study from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning.
I went to ASU's website, I pulled up their mechanical engineering program, I went to the class libraries and found the ISBN numbers for all the books in the mechanical engineering program, and I started buying them one at a time. All I know is I needed to pass that test. I felt like if I didn't pass that test, my baby wouldn't live. So I did. So finally the time has come, and it's time for me to take the exam. So we drove to California. I ended up wasting time on problems and subjects that didn't matter, and I failed the exam. It was heartbreaking.
You have to reverence the obstacles because we had nothing. He had no tutors. He was an anomaly. He was a math genius, and we came up in the hood. There was no opportunities there, and he fought his way.
I know that I'm not getting this promotion without this exam being passed. Two, I'm already struggling with if I'm good enough. The only thing I could do to stop myself from feeling insecure was to start studying again. So this time I'm better prepared. We drive out to California again. I was not prepared. Those questions were so difficult, I didn't even know what subject they belonged to. And I got home and I cried out to God. I said, God, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I pass this test? I know that I'm smart enough. I know that I can pass this thing. What am I doing wrong? And this is probably the clearest I think I've ever heard God speak to me. Internally, he said to me, stop studying to pass and study for an understanding. I mean, I would literally go to bed and equations would be solving themselves in my sleep. And I would wake up and say, Joe, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm waking her up. Joe, I got it. The third time I went to take this test, I felt like I got every single problem right. All I saw was congratulations. Excited. The next day at work, I got my letter in hand. I take it to my boss. I said, hey, I did it. I passed. He said, congratulations. That is incredible. I said, can I have that promotion now? He said, well, we can't give you that promotion because you're not an engineer. I studied for the PE, which is a professional engineering license. And I feel like I got every single question right. The letter came, I passed. You are a licensed mechanical engineer. The next day I go to the office, letter in hand. I said, hey, I passed the engineering exam. I'm now a licensed professional mechanical engineer, and I want that promotion. And he said, well, you don't have enough experience.
Once his boss said no, he said, okay, well then I'll just start my own company.
So I started getting clients. Things started getting good really fast. We started saving money. We started paying off the medical bills. We paid off a lot of debt. Things were good. And then I got that phone call. Jason, she's gone. Who's gone? Pei-Pei. What do you mean she's gone? She didn't wake up last night. I was trying to give her the treatment she needed to live. And here it is, all these roadblocks stopping me from providing for my family. If I could have passed that test sooner, maybe I could have got her what she needed. But going into a funeral, there are expenses that I didn't know existed. it pretty much wiped out my bank account. I started my own business, things are going good, and I lose my child. And then I'm broke and broken.
I was not gonna not be by his side. And that was really hard. He didn't let it stop him. He didn't let Pei-Pei stop him. And I felt like, wow, you know, now looking back over that, I watched my husband grow into a man. You know, dealing with something that heavy and still carrying all of us on his back was no easy task. But he did it. And he did it with great pride.
But my brother called on me and he asked me, man, he said, I want you to speak at Pei-Pei's funeral. You know, the first thing I said was, I can't. He said, Mike, I need you to.
And to just know that that weight he was carrying while trying to still protect us was, it's still hard to put into words.
The mortgage is due and there's nothing in the bank to pay it with. I said, well, God, I'm gonna need you to do something about this. And the next day, a client called and said, hey, I got a payment for you. Would you like to pick it up or would you want me to put it in the mail? I said, sir, I need to pick it up. And that's when I knew we were gonna be all right.
I was blessed to watch my brother overcome the natural depression that comes with losing a child, and to see him take the pain that he had and put it in a place of productivity.
So instead of being the source of my pain, she became the source of my power. Sometimes in life, we look and we seek for things that we already have. Borum Engineering.
Our lives constantly changing. Our needs evolve. Our families ever growing. Our businesses expand. Therefore, we must expand our capabilities, our technology, our customer service, focusing on responsiveness, coordination, minimizing change orders with practical solutions. We are a team of engineers who build not just buildings, but communities. Building our community one design at a time. Borum Engineering.